On today's episode of CSTV News, we will be covering the construction at our high school.
Another thing we will be talking about is the mental health of our athletes.
All this and more on Cedar Springs TV Live.
Yep.
Hello, I'm Keenan Yukonovich.
And I'm Jacob Soltis, and welcome to another edition of Cedar Springs TV News.
I personally feel that the new addition to the high school building will be beneficial because it offers more room for teachers, students, and classes.
I agree with you. I believe that the beneficial building of the high school will be beneficial for many reasons for the staff of Cedar Springs High School.
Now I'll be sending it over to Ava Hartman for a special look at the construction going on at the high school.
Hello, this is Ava Hartman from Cedar Springs TV News, and today we are going to be going over the construction currently going on in the high school. The overall plan for the construction is adding new classrooms, extending the gym, and replacing the main office with new classrooms. Today we are also going to be covering others' thoughts on the construction currently going on in our high school. Construction on the high school.
So right now we're adding 8 classrooms and 4 sets of bathrooms out on the north end of the building. That is our H addition. And then we are renovating the old media center into the new administration area. Once we're done with that, administration will move in there, and then we are going to turn the old administration area into 4 classrooms. And we are also doing a addition on the cafeteria to help make you guys' cafeteria a little bit bigger. Overall, we will be wrapping up in spring of next year. We'll have some classrooms that we're going to be redoing carpet and paint in over fall next year. The majority of everything else will be done when you guys come back to school in the fall.
My thoughts on the office moving to a different room are pretty positive because I feel like it's just going to create more room for them to be able to bring in new teachers and everything. I think the expansion will help the school by giving teachers the room they need for their students, because some classrooms are just really tight and there's a lot of students in them. I think we could use more classrooms. I don't think they're necessary, but I feel like it will help the school a lot. I think the expansion of the gym is going to be useful, I guess, but I don't think it's really necessary because the gym's already a decent size, you could say. Currently I don't think it's affecting the students' life very much, but maybe in the future when they're doing bigger projects it will. But other than that, I don't think it really is.
Wow, that was really interesting. I'm really excited for the new addition to our high school.
I agree with you. I was not expecting the new addition. It looks so good.
We'll be coming back after this brief break.
Welcome back. We will be talking about the mental health of our Cedar Springs athletes and how that has impacted their playing performance.
Now we'll send it to Connor Shotko for a special look at our athletes.
I don't think mental health problems are just around Cedar Springs athletes. I feel like it's a broader topic than that, because mental health in athletes is something that it's not really brought up as much as it should be, and there's a lot of pressure and stress on athletes to perform in their sport, and then there's a lot of pressure and stress to perform in school.
I don't necessarily think that athletes have more mental health problems in my experience, but I definitely think they can have some different mental health issues, especially when it comes to like self-confidence with playing or like body image issues. Athletes can have a lot of those, and I've seen those with other people too, but I don't think they're necessarily overall more in athletes.
In the past, I've struggled with anxiety pretty badly. It's not so much in the games and stuff, it's before games. Sometimes I'll stress out about like doing my job or something, or it's all the things piling up, such as the game and then homework and then tests and stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen mental health problems affect my friends, such as the stress side of things, because a lot of the time, being a pretty good football team, we get a lot of hate from some people when we don't perform the way we should, and it kind of puts a toll on some people with anxiety and stress.
To a certain extent, I've struggled with mental health problems. Like, as most athletes do, I've struggled with like some confidence issues in playing, and I've struggled with like the mental effects of getting injured. It can be really hard on a person, and so I've definitely experienced a lot of it.
Well, mental health problems plague athletics by not giving you enough time to do your schoolwork, so you become stressed and anxious for what's going on in the next day. And then when you finally get to that day, you realize, crap, I've only done half my homework.
I think maybe we should have mental health days. I've heard of other schools that have mental health days, and I feel like it'd be a good thing to give some athletes a break sometimes, give some students a break sometimes, because it's not only in athletes that there's mental health problems. So maybe just giving some of the people some breaks, and it would help out.
I completely agree with these athletes. As an athlete myself, I completely understand the struggle that comes with playing sports and mental health.
Very true, Keenan, very true.
Now we'll send it to our sports anchor, Aiden McMartin.
Hey everybody, it's Aiden McMartin reporting on Cedar Springs Sports. There's a lot of action going on for the next 2 weeks in Cedar Springs athletics. To begin, varsity baseball played 7 total games this week. 6 of the 7 were doubleheaders. The first 3 games were played against Wayland Union High School. The first game ended with a score of 10-4 with the Red Hawks on top. The next game concluded with a score of 10-2 with the Wildcats dominating. The Hawks then played the Wildcats again on Thursday night. That game ended with a score of 8-5 and a Red Hawk win. On Saturday, Cedar Springs traveled to Traverse City West, where they lost the first game 1-9 and defeated the Titans 8-4. Varsity boys golf has had a rough season, placing last in every jamboree they participated in. On Monday, they scored at 189 in Wayland, and on Tuesday, they scored at 210. Girls varsity soccer started off the week with a 3-1 win over Northview. They then went on to play Rockford this past Saturday with a final score of 0-0, resulting in a tie. Girls varsity softball had a rough start to their week, losing 15-0 for the first game of the doubleheader against Wayland Union High School. The second game yielded the same result with a score of 7-1, ending in a loss. They then went on to play Forest Hills Central in a doubleheader. The first game concluded with a score of 13-1 and 12-1, both ending in wins for the Lady Hawks. Girls varsity tennis dominated the Greenville Yellow Jackets with a score of 7-1 in their match. The second match of the week was a tournament at South Christian, where they placed 6th overall. Boys and girls varsity track competed in their conference meet this past Friday, where 12 personal records were set and 1 school record was set by Taylor Diamond in pole vault with a height of 12 feet. Overall, the track team placed 3rd for boys and 6th for girls in the meet. So far, we have had a good year with track, including great success. We will now be going over to Ethan Terpstra to learn more about what it takes to be an athlete.
Becoming an athlete takes more than what most people think. Yes, being an athlete requires being athletic, but it also requires having good sportsmanship, self-respect, self-discipline, and being able to work well with others. However, that is not all that it takes. These are only a few aspects of what it takes to be an athlete. When asked about what it takes to be an athlete, here's what a few of our high school athletes had to say.
What takes to be an athlete is the dedication that you put into it to where you can basically show up to the said sport that you're going to do. Like marching band, you have to show up either after school. Bowling, you have to show up after school, drive to Rockford and bowl a couple while. For golf, you have to go to Cedar Chase, probably won't get home until like 5:30. That's like the dedication that you put through.
What it takes to be an athlete, in my opinion, would be like a lot of time and effort put into it. Not only do you have to spend time on learning new abilities and skills within the sport that you play, which I play tennis, so there's lots to be learned.
To be an athlete, you have to be hardworking because to keep your grades up and to do the sport and achieve your goals. You also have to be determined to do the hard workouts or to stay with the sport.
What I think it takes to be an athlete is just a lot of work ethic and putting in the time and effort to be the best you can at what you do, and keeping up your grades so that you are eligible to play, and just making sure people can rely on you.
Couldn't have said it better than myself, athletes. Back to you, Aiden.
Thank you, Ethan, for giving us a deeper look on what it takes to be an athlete. It should always be known that the challenges can come in all different ways. This week, the boys' varsity baseball team plays tonight against Thornapple Kellogg, tomorrow against Catholic Central. They then play Catholic Central on Thursday and St. John's on Friday. Next Monday, the team will wrap up the week against South Christian. Tomorrow, the varsity golf team competes in another jamboree, then Saturday against Rockford High School, ending off their week with a conference meet next Monday. Girls varsity soccer plays Grand Rapids Catholic Central tonight for the first game of the conference tournament. Wednesday will be the second game of the tournament, which is to be determined after tonight's and tomorrow's games. Caledonia will be the matchup for Friday's game. Then, for the last game of the season, there's an open slot for the conference tournament. Varsity softball plays Thornapple Kellogg tonight as well. Tomorrow they play Catholic Central at the same time as baseball. Thursday's matchup is against Comstock Park, and to conclude their week, Saturday is an invitation game against Coopersville. Varsity girls tennis only has one other match left in the season and is facing off against Comstock Park tonight. Other than tracks meet this past Friday, they have one more meet this Friday against Grand Haven High School. After this short break, we'll be back with Keenan and Jacob.
Welcome back to CedarSpringsTV Live.
After we send it to Allie for the weather, we'll be talking about the art students' Congressional Art Show.
Now we'll send it to Allie Smith for the weather.
Hey everybody, it's Allie Smith, and we're going to be looking at the forecast. So today in Grand Rapids, it's 53 degrees, and as we move north, it gets a little bit cooler, and south, it's a little bit warmer. Now let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. So as you can see, Monday, it's a little bit cooler, and then throughout the week until Wednesday, it gets a little bit chillier. And then Thursday is supposed to reach a high of 75, and then Friday 82. And then we look at Saturday, and it's a little bit stormy. And Sunday it gets a little bit cooler. Now I'll send it back to Keaton and Jacob.
Wow, Allie, I'm really looking forward to some cooler weather.
I agree with you, Keenan. I'm really looking forward to some cooler weather.
Now we'll send it over to Kirsten and Audie for a special look at the Art Students Congressional Art Show.
Hi, I'm Adriana Newhoff with ZZTV, and today we're in Cedar Springs High School. Today we'll be talking about the Art Conventional Challenge, and we'll be talking about the people included in that. There were 3 people chosen to represent our high school in that challenge. I'm in front of one of the many pieces here at Cedar Springs High School. Here you can see where a bunch of students painted on this mural. We have a lovely Red Hawk over here, painted by one of the students here. A saying here is, it's a great day to be a Red Hawk. And after walking through the halls, I know every day is a great day to be a Red Hawk. Hello, my name's Adriana Newhoff, and I'm here today with ZZTV. I'm currently doing a segment on the Congressional Art Show that will be taking place May 2nd through the 7th at Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum. There are 3 contestants who were picked by Miss Swift herself. Riley Darwin, our first contestant we will be talking about, created the St. Patrick's Day. She used acrylic paint and impasto to make the leaves and give them a really good texture. It took her 7 days to complete this piece. We're going to be talking about Kylie Dreyer, who used Princeman color pencils to draw out her lovely piece of a red panda. She loves Japanese culture, and that's what gave her the inspiration to create this piece. She added a sunrise because of one of her favorite Hindu quotes. And also, one of her other quotes, whiskers away. That's why she created a red panda with the sunset behind it with a Japanese tower on its head. The last person I'll be talking about is Kaylee Paisley, who used an old pictures from a book she had lying around, and she wanted to because she wanted to give it this older feeling. She used the bee to represent creative life, to give her image more of a pop. And she definitely gave the painting life.
Wow, I did not know art could be so interesting.
I agree with you. That was very interesting. I did not think art was that interesting.
This is Keenan Yukonovich and
Jacob Soltis with today's Ren edition of Cedar Springs TV News.
It's a great day to be a Red Hawk.
That was